Yo, it's Jazzi Black. I'm excited to be kicking back with one of my favorite people ever, Law Nation Sports. What's up, Law?
Yes, what's good with you? How everything been going this off season?
It's been going. Watched the game on Sunday. It was kind of boring, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
How was Cali?
Oh, it was great. The weather was nice. It was 72 degrees, the highest.
Dang.
It was just wonderful out there, getting a chance to see some of that
What's in her
good
face,
Cali
Law?
sunshine. It was great. And then I get a chance to watch the Americas team out there do their thing. Although we would love to see CeeDee Lamb out there, but that's a whole nother story and a conversation probably for another time. But yeah, everything else worked
Go
its way
ahead and
out.
address CeeDee Lamb. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So
Okay.
I saw before the game, Jerry was coming out and saying that regardless of the situation, we wouldn't see CD out there because he doesn't want him to get hurt. But he also said there's no sense of urgency to give him that contract.
Jerry,
I mean-
Jerry. You know, it should always be sense of urgencies with when you have a star-studded player like CeeDee Lamb. I'm talking about continuity. I'm talking about rapport. I'm talking about poise that he will bring to the table. Also, he will bring life to the other wide receivers that's trying to earn their way with the Cowboys. So just imagine if this is your star-studded player and he got to fight for his money, what do that do for the morale of the other wide receivers? It's just crazy. Pay the man. Come
He
on.
did confess that, it's not the same without him there. So he
Right.
said that he does miss him. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's some negotiations going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing. Do you feel like CD is right for holding out?
I do believe because all players are one hit away, and I'm not saying that he can go out there and twist something, but if he go out there and mess up something, will that offer still be on the table?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I look at it. I'm always team players get their money.
I know that's right, Long.
Go get that money.
Give him the
Come on
bag,
with
Terry. That's all we saying. Give him the bag. So everybody's talking about Trey Lance.
Mhm.
What were some things that were you able to see him out there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that Trey Lance last preseason game, he was 25 for 41, 188 yards. I think that he's over processing things. I'm thinking that they're looking at it like, okay, let's prove that he can be this guy that can throw every ball. I think that he was rushing through his throws. I'm thinking that he's over analyzing the situation. Trey just need to play Trey type of football, get back to it, and understand that, hey, you got the opportunities. You got 2 more games. Slow it down. Don't rush your reads and just get comfortable. It looks like he was a little nervous. He's pressing. He got the weight of the world. Everybody was talking about the
watching,
fact
yeah.
that he was a former first-round draft pick. This is his
Right.
4th season. So just slow it down, Trey. That's how I look at it from what he was doing on that first preseason game.
Tyler Guyton. Everybody is excited about Tyler Guyton. Is he going to be starting?
Oh, yes. He had a great start out there in Oxnard. One of the better left tackles. He earned his starting role. He just got sick. I think he had the flu, and that made him, miss a few days in practice. So even though the first preseason game, he only had a spoonful of reps, but you can see that he got the athleticism. He can wall that left side out, and he can pull. He can get into traps. He can get upfield. He can do all of those things. So I'm thinking the world that Tyler Guyton will be ready week 1 versus Myles Garrett and all of those boys. But it's one of those processes that is slow for him as well because he was hit with one of those flu-like symptoms when he was out there in Oxnard. So it's a slow start for him.
That's tough. And I know he's like super excited to get out there, but everybody's like, give your body time to rest.
Yeah.
I was able to see a few clips on Twitter and see sports writers just talking about how excited they are, how enthusiastic he is, and how fired up he is. So
Right.
I guess nothing less to expect from a rookie. So that's super cool. What do you think about Rico Dowdle?
I think the role is his. I think that he will be your RB1. No shade at Ezekiel Elliott. I think Zeke will bring veteran leadership to the team. I think that when we get to the red zone, you can utilize Ezekiel Elliott there. It will be a good 1-2 punch. Rico, then Zeke, and then Zeke, then Rico, depending on the competition that we going up against. I think that Rico will have his chance to shine, especially even in this next preseason game.
Yeah, I feel like Cowboy fans are kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funky right now. People are just not really as excited. And I think even with just things that are happening, you know, on the back end, like financially and stuff, is that everybody kind of like, oh, okay. You know, this preseason game, it didn't feel slow.
Yeah, it was very slow, very vanilla. But the defense shined. We had 4 picks.
Right.
We limited the team in throwing the ball in the air. The thing was that even with those 4 picks, we did allow some yards on the ground. Nevertheless, I'm looking at Mike Zim with his new philosophy and system and scheme. I think that Mike Zim brings discipline to the table, and we will see more of our linebackers shining in this particular system, as well as our safeties.
Do you think it was a good idea for us to practice together? They said that they enjoyed the practice, and I heard that they're going to be doing it again on tomorrow.
I do see that that's a very much good benefit for us because they took away a preseason game. So, and with the new collective bargaining agreement, you don't have a lot of practices, whereas back in the days, it used to be 2-a-days. So now with this joint practice, this alleviates some of the things, whereas
one practice.
Yeah. And then you don't have to start your starters in preseason game. You can do everything and practice in a controlled environment. So that's why we didn't get a chance to see majority of our starters week 1. So by us going back in and joint practice with the Rams, this give us a chance to see more and more Dak Prescott with the starters and more of our first team unit like Michael Parsons with the starters, opposed to putting these guys at risk in a actual live game like a preseason game. So it's good to have joint practices, in my opinion.
Yeah. What are your predictions for the Raiders preseason game?
I'm thinking that we start off a little bit faster.
Okay,
even though because what the score was 12-13 last week.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to put some points out there on the board.
Not for real.
Yeah. I'm looking at this would be a situation whereas we would see majority of our starters in this game because this is basically our dress rehearsal.
Right.
We have 90 guys on this team. They got to do the cuts and all of that. Yeah.
Corey Crooms, what happened? What happened to Corey?
He snapped up his ankle, and the Cowboys decided to waive him. So it's one of those things. Whereas we had high hopes for Corey, got a chance to meet up with his people while I was out there in Oxnard, California, and they was rooting for him. He had everything at his table. He was one of those guys that people were saying that it could be a situation that he would make this team because CeeDee Lamb was reaching out to him before camp started. And majority of the wide receivers like Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Cropper, as well as Jalen Brooks, they all was looking at Corey Crooms as a guy that could be an impact for this team, especially on special teams. But unfortunately, he got hurt.
That's tough. Well, definitely pray for him because I know that can be a lot, especially when you're just so close. You're right there.
You right there.
Well, Dak's ankle is better now, so he came out and said that he's expected to be practicing today.
Right.
So
with Dak Prescott, we know who Dak Prescott is in the preseason.
We know.
Right. We know who Dak is in the regular season. We just got to build that momentum for him to do things in the postseason, right? So that's how I'm looking at Dak Prescott. I get it. You know, he's all pro. He's one of those guys or second runners up for MVP. I'm looking at this like Dak Prescott. He will be either the same what he did last year or better. So I'm not worried about Dak Prescott. Cowboys Nation, we're going to be okay with him.
We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good season. Look, make sure you lock and load it and check out the preseason so you can see what we're working with. On the 17th, we're taking on the Raiders. Of people to find out more about the Dallas Cowboys and what's going on at training camp. Where can they find you, Law?
Yes, indeed. That's Law Nation Sports. Just look that up on all platforms. You will see my face, name, and logo there. Let's get it.